Okay, to continue with the morning session, I've decided to continue it in the evening too. So we're still on the 11th of March 2025. It is Tuesday. It's now 17:45 in the evening, just short of 1800, which is 6 p.m. at postcode 560077. We start taking Gaumata's blessings, Ganesh Ji's blessings as part of Gaumata. Then we take Krishna's blessings, we take Vishnu's blessings, we take Shivji's blessings, we take Shani's blessings. Okay, and all the Devi Shakti blessings too. We take Shirdi Sai Baba's blessings also. You know, I actually was lying down in the afternoon. What we have over here is, as an addition, amongst these letters is the initials of somebody who is trustworthy. Amongst these initials is somebody who is trustworthy. Now, I checked yesterday also and I've checked today also. We're getting the same answer. The trustworthy person is amongst these. LUW or WUL. If we take LUW, first and foremost, N and C, are we talking about Nikhil and Chitru, mother and son, Advani, whose friend was N, or then another N. So was there, yes, they would have, it's not love, but it is a friendship that would have happened. Or did someone pull wool over somebody's eyes? That's another way of reading this. Okay, but this is not the point. The point is, when I was sleeping, I don't know if I was taken to a timeline in the 90s, or was it like parallel to when I was married. And I see my sister, and my sister is looking a little Iranian. That's the funny part. And she's so sweet and she's so pretty. And she's got two long plaits, but they're like two thick plaits. Is she Iranian or is she looking Keralite? I'm not sure. Okay, but she is definitely in a relationship with a man. It seems to be New York, but I think it could be like, I don't think it is the it's not Manhattan, and it is most certainly not, I think it is in the, not lower income, but it's definitely not high living. It seems to be like very average living, and the neighborhood also could be average. I'm not sure. But that's what I see. And then when I was coming out of my sleep, she's walking, like she gets out of her home and she's walking on the street, or perhaps to her workplace, or where, I'm not sure, or maybe to the bus stop, or maybe to her car, I'm not sure, but she's definitely walking. She's walking on the sidewalk, if that's how you call it, if that's the appropriate term. And I just get the sense that, well, it's not exactly high living, it's very average living. But the name Leroy comes to my mind. Now, the name Leroy we have got in the past also. What stands out about my sister is that she's got two plaits. Her hair is in two plaits on either side. And her hair is pretty long, which I have never seen Varja do in her entire life. I've never seen her never have that kind of a hairstyle. So the name Leroy came to my mind, and the word Leroy has turned up in my read about 3-4 times in the past. I don't know how to actually place the name Leroy. I don't know how to. But I then, because I had this while coming out of this afternoon nap, I just realized that, hey, 1 minute, in the name Leroy is the sign Leo, Leo. The name Ray, Rey, the name Roy, Roy. So we got the name Roy in the past also. The man on whom the fire falls on. He's a combination of the ex-commissioner of police in Bombay called Mr. Roy, but of course he is not Leroy. There's no connect. Except that from a name perspective, the name Roy is over there. A combination of Mr. ex-commissioner Roy, who's late Mr. Commissioner Roy from Bombay. Then there is that version of Salman Khan from Dabang Dabang. And who did I say? Vivek Oberoi. If you had to look at the looks of this man, who I see the fire catches, it catches on to the man. What is the, and he's got like this big mustache. But what is this man doing? Mr. Roy has wiry hair, if I'm not mistaken. Whereas this man has thin hair. He doesn't, not thin hair, but he has smooth hair. Not, the wiry Indian hair, not that. Or the thick crop, not that. And his mustache also is a smooth mustache, with a thick smooth mustache, and his hair also is thick but straight. So you can say, okay, Vivek Oberoi may be having that kind of a hair structure. But he doesn't look entirely like him. He's like a cross of these three people. He's very fair with a big mustache. So the point is, but not the Rajput Rajasthani type of, that curling mustache. No, not that. Like a straight mustache, which is just as much as the mouth, but big enough but not biggest enough. Okay, so I understand in the name Leroy is the word Leo, there's the name Roy, there's the name Ray, and also the name Elo, E-L-O, who we used to keep getting. Also the name Elo. So I just found that was important. Okay, that was important. For some reason this name is important. I personally don't know anybody called Leroy. Then Varsha's daughter used to do yo-yo all the time while she was growing up. So if you switch it around, you get yo also. You get Rio but not spelt as R-I-O, R-E-O in a way. So Rio but not Rio. So somewhere back to South America in a way. Rel but not R-I-L. And left and right. And role also. To play a role. Yor also, Y-O-R-E, and or also, O-R-E. Okay, so anyway, I think this word Leroy for whatever reason is important, this name. I don't know why. Or we keep that to the side. I will check with this to see if the name Leroy is of any consequence. Okay. So I'm back. Shirley Seva, thank you for everything. Please bless. I want to know, am I surrounded by the saint and the saint's partner? Which means I'm the saint and the sant. So am I surrounded by my mom's spirit and Kiran uncle's spirit? Her second husband. Okay, is my mom around me? Just my mom? Okay, so Kiran uncle may not be here, but my mom is here. Alright, so we're talking to my mom's spirit. Okay, so am I speaking with my mom's spirit as of now? When I was sleeping this afternoon, I was napping just to take a break. I just saw my sister Varsha with two long plaits, and it looked like she was somewhere in America. And she had two long plaits, which is something in her lifetime I have never seen her have. Also, the crop of hair on her head was like kind of thick, whereas I've never seen her have a thick hair of crop. I mean, she's just got normal hair like me, and if we had to make plaits, it would be like fine hair, not thick hair. She had two thick plaits. But it was Varsha's face, but she looked little, I don't know, Iranian or Keralite. She looking Iranian? Looking Keralite? So she looking Iranian? Very sweet, very pretty. That's what I felt. Such a cute face. Now, what I wanted to know is what is the name Leroy of any consequence? Leroy, is such a name important? Did I know any man called Leroy? No, did I know any man called Leroy with his face and his identity known to me, that his name is Leroy and he is Leroy? Have I known any man called Leroy in my life? Have I known any man called Leroy in my life? Does a man called Leroy know me or know about me? I need to take off my glasses because I'm taking off my glasses and leaving it on that side. So does any man called Leroy know about me or know me? He has shapeshifted into Jaswell at any point in time, wearing the skin of either my father or some of my cousins or some men known in our family. The L is Leroy that you're talking about? When we ask about a trustworthy person, the L is Leroy that you're talking about? Did Leroy do something that was negative when it came to any of us? Did the man Leroy do something that was not appropriate when it came to any of us? So I'm actually a little confused, because this girl who I saw connected in, seemed to be maybe New Jersey or some place like that in New York. Definitely not that upper Manhattan or whatever it's called. Definitely not Manhattan. It wasn't the high living. I got the sense that she was living a very like a New Jersey kind of life. This girl is still in her body. She's still alive in her body with her two thick plaits. She's still alive. Alive means she's still in the body. But how does she look so much like Varsha? But she's not like Varsha. How come she looks like Varsha? She's in the body still. Her name is what? Varsha. She can't be Varsha. Is she a good girl? Is she a good person? But do I know her? Have I ever met her in person? So you're saying she is trustworthy? But she's what? Iranian or Parsi? But then I have not been in touch with her, so I really don't know her. It's so sad. She's got Varsha's looks. That's the funny thing. She's got Varsha's looks, but she's got hair which is a little different and very sweet. So that is strange. Okay, if I can ask you, because it's a little confusing, are we going into something that happened to her and her timeline? Is this reading about that? About something that happened with her and her timeline? Are we doing that as of now? Is that what you're discussing? Because I have to have clarity on what I'm doing. You know, my question could be one thing, but you could be discussing something else. So I just want to ensure we're on the same page. So, is this about my timeline? Or I don't know how to explain it to you. Is it my timeline? How do I explain who I am? I'm JAYA.ADVANI. Okay, and then like a nice heavy breeze outside. So let's explain. I'm JAYA.ADVANI, and I'm JAYA.ADVANI, and I stay at Bangalore 560077. It is the 18th floor. It is in India. I don't know how should I establish my identity. I don't know. Because the problem with being so many people on one neural network is these guys are switching neural networks and bringing in different personality types and confusing issues. And so this is why sometimes we're pushed off sometimes, because it automatically catches the energy of the other person and then starts answering that. So I don't know how to explain. If I show you, okay, let me ask the pendulum away from the camera. I'm not going to put the camera on. Let me do the asking. If I had to ask you, if I had to show you my hand lines, both my hands, would that establish identity? Would that be an okay way of establishing identity of who we're speaking about? I don't know how else to establish identity for myself. If I show you my hand lines, is that good enough to establish identity? Then you say that is JAYA.ADVANI's hands. Age 51 going to 52. Are we in the year 2025? Are we in the year 2002 as of now? Okay, we are in the year 2025. Okay, so she says it's okay to identify myself showing my hand lines. Not Katrina, but Jaya. Tell this Katrina not to put on voice all the time in the middle, huh? So how do we show you? These are my hand lines, right? For whatever it's worth. She says it's okay. Show the hand lines and that should establish identity. So I'm showing the hand lines to establish identity. That's the back of the hand that was cut. Okay, once we've established identity, I'm going to ask her. I asked her off camera, I'm going to ask her again, which is okay, if I can ask you in basic words, are we in the timeline of 2002? That's what I asked you last. Are we in the are we talking about timeline 2018? Are we in the year 2025? Are we in the timeline of 2025? Okay, I won't tire you out too much because this thing also stretches my back. What I want to understand over here, you say the trustworthy person is between these words WUL or LUW. Is it a girl you're saying that is trustworthy? Is it a man who is trustworthy, who has these initials of LUW or WUL in his identity? The man comes from which place? He's from Europe. He's a European. Is he an American? So you're saying he's European and American, or he has like a next to both places? Is he a shapeshifter? Does he shapeshift for other people? Does he wear the skin of other people? Is that his work? What can you give me his age group so that we know how to group him? Would it be okay to give his age group? Is he my age group? So if I'm 51, 52, is he in and around, is he like 73, 74, 72 born? I'll give you various choices. So is the person like 72, 73, 71, 74, 75 born? Okay, so can we say there's an age gap? Is the age gap more than like, is it in and around 10 years? So is he considerably older from the normal trend? So let's say if I'm 51, he would be like, what, 61? $71? Is he more like a father figure kind of a thing? So he's more elderly. Okay, so that's good. And he has W, he has L, and he has U in it, right? As part of his in his name or in his initials. He shapeshifts in many countries. Okay, can I ask you his height, so that again that also helps me? Is it okay to ask about the height of the person? Only as an indicator. Okay, if I can ask you for the height of the person, of the man, or would the height of the person be in and around between, let's say, 5'3" to 5'5"? Is he like of a shorter height? Okay, is he between 5'5" and 5'7"? Would he be between 5'7" and 5'9"? Would he be between 5'9" and 5'11"? In height, huh? We're talking about height. Would he be between 5'9" and 5'11" in height? Would he be between 5'11" and 6'1" in height? Would he be above 6'1" in height? In the name, Leroy is the name Errol but spelt differently, E-R-O-L. Because that's what someone in my ear spoke, Errol, E-R-O-L. You're talking about Errol? That is Elon's father. In the name Leroy is the name Errol also. Elo and Errol. Okay, anyway, so you're saying there is somebody who is trustworthy. The person is between 5 You said the person is between 5'11", he's above 6'1" in height, is what you said, right? You said he's above 6'1" in height. You said he's an elderly man. Okay, so I can't place who this person is, but apparently she is talking about something that she knows about. So anyway, now these guys are imagining that we're going to be somebody's housekeeper. Is that what it is? Because this person is talking about somebody who's worked in my house, Bertie, who's the one who has worked in my home. So are these people imagining a housekeeper? Because that's not what I do actually. It's not my occupation. So is that what they're talking about? What is the exact age of this person? This person is how old actually? Are you willing to discuss? This person's bloodline is Indian. This man's bloodline is an Indian bloodline. Whoever this man is, it's an Indian bloodline. Are you willing to give me the exact age of the person? The guy is 10 years older than me. No, should we put it into how many slots? I'll put it into different slots, okay? You give me like where the slot fits in. So let's see what are the slots. Okay, so I have like slots over here. I've slotted it into different slots. So it's 0 to 5, then 6 to 10, then 11 to 15, then 16 to 20, then 21 to 25, and 26 to 30. Okay, so I have slots over here that I have slotted. So I read out the slots. So you will point out within the slots that I have given the age gap. So 0 to 5 years is the first age gap. So the person is 0 to 5 years older than I am. Okay, the person is 6 to 11 years older than I am. Or 6 to 10 years older than I am. Okay, the person is 11 to 15 years older than I am. Between 11 to 15 years older than I am. Can I go one step at a time to ask how many years exactly? So we start with 11 years older than I am. So if I am now 51 years old, that person would be 62, 63 years old. So about 11 years older than me. Okay, if not 62, 63, okay, would the person be 12 years older than me? So from 51, then he is 63 years old. Okay, would the person be 13 years older than me? Years older than I am. So if I am 61 years old, then that person would be about 64 years old in age. So the person is about 13 years older than I am. That's what the pendulum is saying. Okay, so if it is 13 years, if it is 13 years older than I am, then the zodiac is the, either it is the ox, metal ox, or it is the water tiger sign, okay, in the Chinese element. Okay, so would you be able to identify the Chinese zodiac via the pendulum? The birthday of this person has already passed. Has the person already had his birthday this year, in the year 25? Has he already finished with his birthday? We're actually not much into 2025. Would you be able to identify what is the Chinese zodiac of the person? Okay, would the Chinese zodiac of the person be the What is it? The ox sign? Would the person be the ox sign? The Chinese zodiac of the ox? Would the person be the Chinese zodiac of the tiger? Okay, so the person is the Chinese zodiac of the ox. Okay, so the person is older than I am and is about 13 years older than I am. Okay, about 13 years older to me, and is the sign of the ox. Yeah, in 2025. They're born in 1961. Can I ask you the zodiac of the person? Can I ask you the zodiac of the person? Would you be able to give like the sun sign of the person? Which month the person is born in? Would it, or maybe I won't go with the month, let it be. You say I have met this person in the past. He has shapeshifted for my father at Forge as well. Okay. In the timeline going forward, do you see us settling in India? Do you see this man settling in India? You know, if you take it to the forward timeline, 2025, 2026, 2027, 2028, 2029, 2030 and beyond, do you see that man settling in India? So you say the man will settle abroad? Outside of India? This settling outside of India, are you talking about moving physically with a physical body outside of India? Or are you talking about actually leaving the body and moving into the spirit world? Are you talking about actually leaving the body, leaving behind the physical body and moving back to the afterlife, the way you have gone to the afterlife? Would you agree that you are in the afterlife, you who's talking to me through the pendulum? Would you agree that you have gone back to the afterlife? Can we understand your state? The one who is talking to me through the pendulum, your state is that who has left the body and gone away to the afterlife? My state is gone back to the afterlife. The one who is over here doing this pendulum session, holding the pendulum, I am in the afterlife. Would you say I am in the physical body? So are you saying this man, no, so are you saying my journey in 25, 26, 27 sometime is to go leaving the physical body and going to a state that you are at, which is the spirit realm? Am I supposed to move into the spirit realm the way you've gone into the afterlife? The man you are speaking about, who is probably the metal ox, is he going to be moving back into the spirit life, onto the afterlife? Is this man married as of now? Is this man a married man? Does he have a partner? So is he a single man? Would you say he's legally single? Legal status of the man is single? Because I hate complications. I will never get into anything that's complicated. I'm too lazy for it. So the legal status of the man is single. Okay, as long as the legal status is single. Now, can I ask you one more thing? This person is what? Is European? His bloodline is what? DNA bloodline is what? European? Does he have like a European string in him? In his bloodline? Do I have a European string in my bloodline, as many Sindhis do? As many Sindhi girls have a European string in their bloodline. Do I have a European string in my bloodline? Because Varsha got me on like forcefully to get my thalassaemic minor tests to be done, and I got it done. And of course, I am thalassaemic minor because Govind uncle was treating me for anemia from the time I was 11 years old with folic acid, zinc, and iron tablets. we called it anemia at that time, but then in 2005 she insisted that I do my thalassaemic minor test, which I did. And she said because most Sindhi girls have a string going back to Europe, something in the genealogy. And so she insisted I do my test, and sure enough, I was thalassaemic minor. And I was surprised. So this boy also has some string back to Europe in some way, in his genes and his DNA. This, our compatibility would be, without being manipulative, just being a normal human being. Would the compatibility be okay? Without manipulation? Would it just be an okay compatibility with no manipulation and external force? Just the way, just being normal, natural people. Okay, so compatibility is very important. Okay. Are you still with me? This timeline that you are talking about of my move to outside of India, are you willing to talk about this timeline? Are you willing to give an indication of when? So we agree that we're in the year 2025. If I had to point out which month we're in, would you be able to do that? So would you say we're now in January 2025? Would you say we're in the month of January 2025? We're in March 2025. The month is March 2025. So this shift is likely to be a physical shift, like, bodily picking up oneself and physically moving after getting the visa and, passport stamped. You're saying it's a physical move? Is it an IP move? Is it with like just router and IP? This location stays the same, but the IP router takes my home to another foreign location. Is that the kind of move you're talking about via the router? Are we speaking for somebody other than me who's on my neural network? Are we speaking for that who showed the hand lines physically on the physical body? Are we talking about that who showed the lines as physically moving abroad, away from India, or moving away from India? The girl who showed my hand lines? Okay, so am I supposed to then move abroad or outside of India sometime during the current year 2025? The move is to happen within this timeline of 2025? The girl who showed the hands with the two hands and the lines is going to physically move in 2025 to a foreign location from India. The move is to the western part of the globe. From India it is to the west. From India it is to the eastern part of the globe. In 2025, the move from India is to the eastern. The move from India is to the eastern part of the globe. From India. Is it to a cold climate country? Because just now when I was talking about this topic, we ended up on a video where the ice is to halfway of the door. Or then in some cases the entire door is covered with snow. So is it to a cold region, to a cold climate region, a place which is with heavy snowing? Is that what the move is? To a place which is heavily, in winter it gets a lot of snow? So we're talking about some of, I don't know, most places get snow. Okay. This man lives with other people? This man lives with other people in his house? Not this man, the man you are talking about. That man lives with other people in his house? That man lives on his own? The way I live on my own, with miscreants talking hidden in I don't know what around my home. But that man lives like me on my own, physically, in his physical body, on his own, in his own setup, the way I do in my setup. So he's independent on his own, the way I'm independent, kind of independent on my own. So he's as independent as I am, like on our own. Okay, so we're kind of independent, used to our own independence in a way. So let me just repeat what I asked you off camera. This man has got a Roman string in him. The man you're talking about, DNA wise, genealogy wise, he has a Roman string in him, because I checked with all the other strings of bloodlines. He's got a Roman string in his bloodline. Okay, I asked you about the places he stays in. I'll repeat. He is in Greece, he's in Egypt, he's in Spain, he's in, I don't know, Portugal, Lisbon. Okay, I'll cut it short. Germany. Okay, he has his base or his home in Norway. He lives in Norway. Finland, Iceland in some way. Scotland, like the Scottish Highlands somewhere. Switzerland. Ireland, does he live in Ireland? So again, He's got a base in Switzerland. Norway. Finland. Scotland. So Finland, Scotland, Norway. Switzerland. Does he live in Switzerland? Does he live in Ireland? Does he live in Greece? Does he live in Spain? Okay, does he live in Norway? Does he have like a base in Norway? Does he live in Netherlands? Because someone spoke about Netherlands. So does he live in Netherlands? Does he live in Italy? Does he have like a home in Italy? Does he have a home in France? He has a Greek bloodline. He has an Egyptian bloodline. He has a Dutch bloodline in his DNA. He's got a Roman bloodline. Okay, so it's a Roman bloodline. Okay, having asked those questions, what I see over here, we've got the word Wale, which is for Wales. England as in England. And CUN. Or Wale England CUN or C1. Then also Wale C none. None ace wall. I don't know if this is about wall E, AC, Wall E was the movie, right? You know Wall E, the movie Wall E? Eva and Wall E. So over here we have the name Eva too, spelled differently. Eva is EVA, but this is EWA. None see Eva all, which means everyone going the robotic way. You know the story of Wall E? Wall E was like a little robot, and then he meets Eva, and the two robots like each other because they're two robots. But Eva is more humanized, or Wall-E becomes humanized in a way. So that's Wall-E. Wall-E and Eva. Cool. Eva and Wall-E. Kan lane U O W view. Also there's the question of a nuke. NUCE. I think the word Q is important, so we see the Q. Q, the LAN and the WAN. LAN and WAN. And of course EU is very much over here. And of course over here we have the law. CNN. CNN EU law means CNN EU Vela. We EU CNN LA. Or LAC. You could be a call, CNN call. you call new. Qlawn, Lawn. Q English lawn. Q England lawn. Could be walk, EU, WALK, EU English, walk, EU English, or UN, walk, but not exactly walking. Maybe cycling? Walk is WALK. Okay, so I think I'll shut this here because we've kind of got some kind of an idea. Now, I don't know what exactly but this has got something to do with Anne because we've got Anne spelled very properly. This we've got spelled very properly. Anne. EU. Call or lack. Call or wall. Call, wall, and EU. So I'm going to close this because I think this kind of gives some kind of an indication. But since we're not supposed to do anything ourselves, that's what the read says. We're not supposed to do anything ourselves. We're supposed to just let whoever has to do whatever. They'll only come over here and fetch me. I'm not to go anywhere. I'll just check again on camera so that I understand that I understood it properly yesterday off camera, right? So am I supposed to go and get my solo travel tickets done along with my visa and passport? Am I supposed to travel out of here on my own and go off to Europe? Whoever it is that you've said is trustworthy will come here themselves. They themselves will come here and get everything done. So we have to check with you again if they're the appropriate people or the appropriate person. Okay, so we are to stay here only this way only till that time. We're not to travel on our own. Are we supposed to travel on our own anywhere? Either to Australia, New Zealand, because I wanted to go to the Great Barrier Reef and to Surfers Paradise. So I was thinking of going there for a holiday. So we're supposed to hang around here and not get our passport stamped. Okay, so then that's confirming the same thing. We're not supposed to get our passport stamped on our own and go anywhere for a holiday. We have to hang around here only, and whoever it is will be turning up here. Okay, so let's just see. Is it okay if I close this session now? If I close the session, you okay with me closing the session now? Are you going to teach these people a lesson who are talking from the fan and talking in my ear? Are you going to teach them a lesson soon? I wanted to ask you something off camera. She says no. Okay, 1 minute. I want to ask you something. Koshi aunty used to talk about roaming gas. So is there any connection with the roaming gas? Any connection with roaming gas? Because Koshi aunty used to talk about roaming gas all the time. Any connection with roaming gas? No? Okay. I'm going to close this now. Okay? It's okay I close this session? Okay, so we're closing the session for now. That's enough information for now. Okay.